Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to read an article that we probably shouldn't be, but you never miss an opportunity to make fun of games journalism. It's bad. It's usually copy paste. It's usually something that they don't know what they're talking about, and this is no exception. So here we have an article: police $500,000 Pokemon card collection heist was just called in. A South Carolina collector says $500,000 worth of cards were stolen from his luxury home by John Walker. Probably not anyone that has anything to do with trading cards, but you know what? When there's an opportunity to slap some words in an article and get some ad clicks, you got to do it, right? Even if you have no idea what you're talking about clearly, even if you hate Pokemon cards and Pokemon card collectors, even if you hate the evil YouTubers that are apparently pumping it. They have nothing better to do, but they're super millionaire pluses. Yeah, it's Kotaku. You're in for a bad time. You know you're gonna lose some brain cells when you click on a Kotaku link, and it has anything to do with something that requires knowledge in advance. Let's read through this. Warning in advance, it's bad. It's really bad. We'll look at the article that it copy pasted from. Basically copy pasted. They changed it. They moved the words around and they referenced the original article. It's not plagiarism, guys. It's not. All right. So here we go. We're an odd species, what with our predilection for scarcity, even if that scarce item is a piece of cardboard with a cartoon drawn on it. So when you're referencing Pokemon cards and expensive Pokemon cards at that as pieces of cardboard with cartoons drawn on it, that this is going in that direction. So it is that a 62-year-old South Carolina resident, Christopher Polidoro, is alleged to have had his home broken into and his $500,000 Pokemon card collection stolen. Polidoro isn't just someone who dug out a gem mint collection of cards from his attic and got lucky. That sounds like another article for Kotaku. The insurance broker, okay, so he's an insurance broker. It's not worded as well here as it is in the other article, or as clearly. As reported by The Smoking Gun, is a collector of many types of cards and stores his collections in a temperature-controlled room within his 6,800 square foot home on the waterfront. The Pokemon cards sat alongside more traditional cardboard compilations like baseball, football, and basketball cards, occupying a dedicated room in the 7-bedroom accommodation. So the article so far reading a little bit more like a real estate listing than it is an article about stolen goods. But you know what? It's very useful. I definitely needed to know how big his house was. Whether or not this is maybe the journalists being a little bit salty-walty about the value of his collection and his home, more so than it is about actually covering the incident. A Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office report from July 13 states that the department received a phone call from Polidoro claiming that an unknown person entered his collection room and removed 1.5 boxes of collectible Pokemon card valued at $500 million. Fortunately for Polidoro, the remaining scraps of sanity left on the planet, the billion was a mistake made by the officer. The actual value of the stolen cards apparently amounting to $500,000. However, he told TSG that it was in fact 3 boxes stolen, not 1.5. So far the article is just, I guess, belittling that collection, talking about his house, and talking about how the officer who was noting the events clearly didn't know what they were talking about either. Super useful. My apologies to anyone that's tuning into this video and expected some form of actual valuable information. Polidoro went on to claim that the only people who'd entered his collectibles room, which I desperately hope is equipped with invisible laser beams. Again, why is this even in the article? I feel like I'm in middle school right now, and I'm trying to hit a certain amount of characters or words in order to satisfy the 500 word count or whatever was required for my homework. Since October last year, were some men from a HVAC company, air conditioning repairman, hired by his 91-year-old mother. So that's kind of weird too, and I feel like there might be more to that. I guess maybe his mom lives with them. If they got 7 bedrooms, there's probably a good chance that the grandma's hanging out. But yeah. Speaking to the smoking gun, Polidoro explained that these were sealed, unopened boxes of over 20-year-old cards, including a valuable Japanese edition. So this shows the laziness that is this journalist, the other journalist from the smoking gun. You don't even, great. If you don't know what you're talking about or what the cards are, and you just reach out and ask him what the actual sets and stuff were. Can you copy paste? Can you send me photos? Important to note here that this looks like, I don't know if John Walker here went into Google image search and just typed in Pokemon cards, and this was the first image that came up. It's like X and Y bulk all laid out here. Clearly no idea what they're talking about. All right. As such, they could, of course, contain single cards worth close to the total estimated value. Again, that's not how it works. I know as someone that's not involved with any of this stuff, you wouldn't know that. But you don't value the box necessarily on the fact that the single cards inside could be worth that much. It's a totally separate item, and typically the box itself, the expected value of the box itself, the value of the box is more than the cards inside. Otherwise, people would open them to get more value out of it. That's pretty simple. But again, if you're not in this realm of things and you just blindly type out articles and copy paste other articles, this is what you end up with. Recent years have seen the value of Pokemon cards go up a bit silly, largely inflated by millionaire YouTubers not having enough real problems in their lives, thus seeing the value of specific cards rising exponentially. So this is, I guess we're snorting a little bit of the caribou dust here. It just comes off as like pure, like salty, like you can't have nice things, you can't have expensive things, you can't pay too much for things. But it's okay. He's also going to give us some market advice here. It's obviously a bubble that can't be sustained, and not least because it's not a self-replenishing market. What does that even mean? So yes, things are going to retrace when they spike up as hard as they did. Yes, some of the interest in Pokemon is temporary, but also at the same time, you're going to end up with more people in the market, in the hobby afterwards than were there beforehand. There's going to be a percentage of people that stick around, and even when the values come back down on a lot of these items that did get too high. I'm not sure what exactly he means here by not a self-replenishing market, as in like, are you saying that like the people leaving are going to be more than the people going in, or the fact that they keep printing Pokemon cards? Not totally clear here. I don't know if he even knows what he's talking about or knows what kind of point he's trying to make here. But apparently in brackets here, your new card today won't be worth 500,000 in 20 years time. Okay. But Polidoro's collection could have been one of very few retaining sealed boxes of early cards that still have that potential value. You don't even know what boxes they were. What? I don't understand. What is it with people that want to talk about things that they clearly have no clue what they're talking about? This is exactly that. You have no idea. You don't even know what the items are. Anyway, next section before we get off topic and off trajectory more than the article already does. The Pokemon Company has also made a concentrated effort of late to address the speculation market, reportedly taking care to print way more cards in the hopes of helping curb the shortage, driving up the prices. Again, this is also another realm of you just don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure you would love to write an article about how there was like the 9 billion cards printed without understanding the fact that some of the cards that are being printed now are very hard. You can't even open a set yourself. No one can, whether they're as poor as a games journalist or as wealthy as a a YouTuber. but yeah, and that has nothing to do with the older cards going up in price. This is, yeah, I guess don't listen. Don't listen to anything that comes from Kotaku, please, for the love of God. All right, so here's the article that got copy pasted, as we've seen with other articles on the channel. Typically, games journalists, they don't like to write their own stuff. They do add a little bit of their own flavor and terrible opinions on things that they shouldn't be talking about. Not that they shouldn't be talking about them, but it's weird that you want to write an article on something that you know very little about. I guess there's no concern for, embarrassing yourself. You would think that there'd be a little bit of concern there, but again, maybe not too many people read these and they're not worried about it. All right, so here's the smoking gun article. Police probe pricey Pokemon pilferage. At least we got some alliteration going on here. Man reported cards worth more than 500K swiped. July 19, police are investigating the reported theft of Pokemon cards valued in excess of $500,000 from a man who kept the first edition collectibles in a temperature-controlled room in his South Carolina residence. So at least this article is a little bit more concise. You can tell the Kotaku one was like chopped up, and it had basically everything here, but just reworded and mixed around, so it was a little bit more confusing. It's weird how that happens. when you're trying to like just skirt the line of plagiarism. Christopher Polidoro, a 62-year-old insurance broker, last week reported the Pokemon pilferage to the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office, according to a police report. By the way, Christopher, Chris, whatever you like to go by, if you'd like to reach out and tell me the actual story and what items there were, and have some pictures and whatever, share some details with me, I'd be happy to hear it, happy to share it. And maybe even be a little bit more useful than these junky, funky articles here, who don't even have the items that are stolen. Here we got a first edition base Charizard, which it sounds like it was more Japanese items that were stolen, but who knows, because the people that were in contact with you and the police seem to not know what they're talking about. But it's okay. They made articles, very useless articles, but we're going to read through them. We're going to get the rest of the way through this one. Try not to drag this out too long. Polidoro, who lives in a 6,800 square foot waterfront home, told police that the cards were swiped from his collectible room, which also houses his baseball, football, and basketball cards. Well, we did it, guys. Pokemon is cooler than sports cards. They didn't take the sports cards, apparently. They did take the Pokemon cards. Polidoro, a divorced father of 2 adult children, lives with his fiancée in the 7-bedroom residence he purchased in 2014 for $431,000. So again, I don't know if this is just like they got the address from the police report and then they looked up the listing from when he purchased the house. Like, I don't get it. Sure. All right. According to the police report, Polidoro told investigators that the only other individuals to enter his collectibles room in the past 9 months were workers with an HVAC company. The report states that the Pokemon cards were valued at $500 million, which Polidoro told TSG was a typo on the part of cops. Additionally, Polidoro said 3 unopened boxes were stolen, not 1.5. How does this much get mixed up? I guess maybe the police officer that was writing this stuff down was also a games journalist. Polidoro said that he purchased the Pokemon cards more than 20 years ago and that the unopened boxes each held 24 packs of cards. One of the boxes, he said, contained a valuable Japanese edition of the cards. If he had a $500,000 Pokemon collection, there's a very good chance that he didn't word it as that one of them was a very valuable Japanese edition. But again, this gets lost when it's taken down the first time, and then it gets copied by a Kotaku journalist, and then who knows how many other games journalists copy pasted the same stupid stuff that shows that they know nothing about it. The Pokemon collection was not insured, said Polidoro, who added that his valuation of the cards was based on recent auction sales that netted sellers 6 figures for similar first edition boxes that were issued in 1999. So then we're talking about English at this point. I think no one knows. Does anyone know? we got the document here that doesn't come up, but we'll have to take a look into that. But again, yeah, Chris, reach out. Let's talk about this, and let's get the actual details out there in the open. See if we can't track down the boxes, whatever was stolen. Again, I'm not even sure what was stolen because the articles are such garbage that you can't tell. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.